because it was popped up there. I cut it. Yeah, so we got a little behind the scenes.
Welcome into this Monday edition of Sports Tonight. I am Bailey Burmaster, and we have quite a show lined up for you. We are going to talk a little bit about the Atlanta Falcons and what's next for them as they get ready to head to Miami. We're also going to talk about the Corky Kell Dave Hunter Classic Luncheon that was held today, give you a preview of all the high school football coming your way because that gets kicked off in just about a week, where you will see 11 games in 4 days from 5 different stadiums starting at Kell High School. But let's start with the Falcons. They held their second open practice at the Benz this past Friday. Seemed to have a lot of good energy. The fans got to see everyone in action. It seems like Kirk Cousins and Drake London have been building some good camaraderie. You got to see them make a few connections, which was really nice. But now they'll go against someone different, the team heading to Miami for joint practices before their first preseason game on Friday. Offensive coordinator Zach Robinson has made it clear offensively you're not going to see a whole lot of the playbook, so to speak, but we will get to see these guys in action for the first time. Let's hear from quarterback Kirk Cousins and what he's taken away from training camp to this point.
The ankle's coming. Even since the last time I spoke here, I think it's stronger, more athletic, more dynamic. So I think the thought of play football to rehab it has been a great plan, because I think that's what I need. And I still got more to go, but I'm moving well and able to play the position. I took off today during a little 2-minute period, was able to run and felt no worse for the wear, felt like I was still moving well. So I think I might have given Coach Rob a bit of a heart attack, but I felt good, so he can rest assured knowing that. But it's different getting hit, and I got a red jersey on right now. So when we get hit, you got to be strong enough to be able to really stand underneath the weight of not just you, but of a D lineman. And so that's kind of where I'm trying to get. And then the timing, I think it is a work in progress. I think when you put the pads on and you got Grady Jarrett pass rushing and you've got some other variables, it's not the style that it is in OTAs when you're out there just in shorts and a T-shirt and less of a rush. So we've got to get everything really dialed in, and we just have to keep stacking the days to go do that.
What will be some of the goals and objectives? You get a day off, and then at the big practice on Friday at the stadium?
Yeah, I kind of view, I think the setting at Seconder was a lot of fun. There's a lot of energy. You want to give the fans a lot of something fun to be excited about. I think the stadium on Friday night as well, you'll be a lot of energy and excitement. But I also think that every practice needs to have that sense of urgency. And so whether it's today or Friday, you want to really be sharp. And so we just keep stacking every day up.
When you mentioned that you took off, does that boost your confidence?
Yeah, it does.
With the coaches, do you hear from them afterwards, Kirk, we can't do that? Or
No, I think it does boost my confidence. I think it probably boosts the team's confidence. It's funny because we're competing against the defense, so they're not really rooting for me. And I took off and gained like 6 yards, and I've never heard an opposing sideline so happy. They were, yeah, Kirk, heck yeah. They were high-fiving me, as I was running back to our huddle, so that was kind of funny. But it goes to show how at the end of the day we're all in this together, and they were excited to see it. I think you have to push it. You have to do things, and I think the fact that it felt good was a good thing. But I heard about halfway to the sideline as I was running, I heard Rod going, blow the whistle, blow the whistle. So that's part of the deal.
Like just naturally? Or
yeah, and that was the fun of it, is when we have these periods where it's move the ball, call it, no scripts, compete, put a clock on, the timeouts, everything's real football. That's when you can really play instinctually, including taking off and running. So those are my favorite periods because I think they simulate the game the most. And that was the moment where that happened.
Kirk, circle back to the perception versus reality.
Yeah.
You've got so many young teammates. Have you felt the need to say that to them often?
Yeah, like when we went down to see John Gruden, like that was a big message, that we were saying to each other is like, hey, we've got to work. We've got to do trips like this on the weekend to put in the extra time, to make up for lost time so that we do have the success we're wanting to have. And I think that's been a conversation going into camp, during camp. Darnell Mooney's locker's next to mine, and that gives me a chance, post-practice to kind of get feedback from him. I think he feels that way. And, we both kind of, at times, we walk around the building with like a healthy state of rage, underlying rage, if that makes sense, that like, we got to be better. How can we be better? It's not good enough. I'm not good enough. And And so you try to not only have that yourself, but like inflict it onto other people in a good way, where everybody's standards being raised. And so I do think it's a talking point, whether we're in the lunchroom, at the locker room, or on the field.
About connectivity so much before camp started with your teammates. After a week, did all that infrastructure you tried to build from your arrival to now, do you feel like it's paying off and it's growing?
Well, I think we're in a good place. I really like our group. You know, I really like the quality of the caliber of people, both offense, defense, special teams. Guys want to be coached. They want to work. They want to get better. And that's really all you can ask for. And then it's our job to, you know, they're making themselves available. It's our job to kind of, you know, give them what they need to be successful. So, no, I like our group, and we just need to put in the work to get to where we all want to go.
How were conversations with Raheem about playing in the preseason?
I haven't. It was pretty much a one-way conversation. I think it might have even been in June. It was way back where he's like, you know, he just kind of said it generically to everybody. And, I don't think we'll go there. But maybe when we get to Miami, if I don't feel like the practices went the way we wanted, you know, you can always maybe try to persuade him then. But there's just so much time between now and then. It feels like a ways away. It was. They allowed us to go home if we needed to, but yeah, so we're just kind of working through that. But it was great. No, I thought the staff was just awesome. You know, I woke up this morning and we had messages saying, hey, here's the plan, here's what we're going to do, here's how we're course correcting. They had food for us, so a lot of people serving, jumping in to help to make sure that, you know, the day could still be very productive, which it has been. I went home. I'm not gritty enough to stay in the no air conditioning. I probably could have, you know, maybe, you know, toughened up and stayed, but I got in my air conditioned car and then drove home to my air conditioned bedroom. And, yeah, veteran move, I guess you could say, but yeah, I think a lot of the rookies still stayed here. So I was gonna offer my kids twin beds, but I thought they'd be better off here. So.
How can this rushing attack be, and how is there a way you could describe what Bijan, Tyler, and Jace each individually kind of bring to the table there?
Yeah, talented players, certainly. I think it's fun to play with complete backs. You know, I play with backs who are good at one element of the position, but to have a back who can, you know, square up in pass protection, run routes, catch the football, you know, and then run the football, both between the tackles and outside. I feel like we have several guys who can do that. I'd add Carlos into that mix. I really like his game. So that's exciting. And then it really all has to work as a unit. You know, our O-line coach, Coach Led, talks about how it takes all 11. And I would add it takes him as the O-line coach. It takes an offensive coordinator. It takes a head coach. So there's so many pieces to run the ball well. But that's another part of perception versus reality. We got to put the work in out here so that it shows on the field as reality and not just rest on the fact that someone might think Bijan's going to have a big year. I don't really care what people think, you know. So, anyways.
What do you like so far from Reardon and Bob?
Yeah, I like him a lot. I like his movement skills. You know, it's not that easy to be a great mover, to separate versus man coverage in this league. When you feel like you have a guy who can separate versus good man cover defenders, you want to hold on to him. And Ray Ray's one of those guys. Natural hands. I think he's competitive when the ball comes his way as opposed to being soft when the ball comes his way. So a lot of positive traits. I think having played in systems, whether it was with Ben Roethlisberger, whether it was with Kyle Shanahan, I think he knows what it needs to look like to be successful. And so that helps as well. And I think good things happen when the football's in his hands.
Moving earlier.
Yeah.
Kind of like playing with him. I know you kind of had to see him twice a year.
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
Gaga.
Yeah. I love his game. I love his game. I love the way he moves. I think he plays bigger than his size. He attacks the football. Today he caught a deep ball where the ball was a little underthrown, and he comes back to the football and makes a big explosive play for us. I think he can run the whole route tree, and I think football matters to him. You know, he doesn't just like what football brings. He likes football, and so that's really fun to play with. And again, he's a guy that I think in his first 4 years of his career has not been able to have the success that he really deserves. And I want to see that happen this year for him. And I want to be a part of it. And I think that we've got to go do it. It's not just going to happen. And he knows how hard it was in Chicago to have that success. So he knows what it's going to take. But we've got to go do it. And there's a sense of urgency to make this a big year for him.
From your perspective, what have you seen from Clark Phillips?
Yeah, his locker's 2 down from me, so we have a lot of good conversations too. And he'll usually say to me pre-practice, like, hey, you feeling generous today? You want to throw me one? And I say, no, I'm not feeling generous at all. I have zero hospitality today. So I like his game. I think that that entire secondary, I don't know if it's the scheme. I don't know if it's Jesse Bates' leadership. I don't know if it's Clark. But I just think they're all doing a really good job of being smart, disguising things, making things look the same that are different, and playing where it's muddy for me. And I think that's going to make it hard on other quarterbacks this fall, but certainly at times I'm pulling my hair out a little bit, dropping back, trying to feeling like I can't get a grasp on what's back there.
Starting over the offensive line.
Yeah.
With the cadence, is it more so it's going to take it on the field in practice, or is it off the field as well?
Yeah, it starts with a meeting. You got to kind of introduce it like it's a high school math class and talk through it. And you got 7 or 8 verbal cadences, 6 or 7 silent cadences, and you go through each one and you say, all right, just because I just told you them and you all wrote them down doesn't mean we own them. So now let's go out to a walkthrough and let's do all of them, and then let's go to full speed. And so you try to mix them in. You try to talk through the why as well. Why would I use a cadence here but not use one here? So, I could do a 400 level cadence class now because of all the years I've learned what it means to people. But we've kind of gone through those meetings, and now we got to take it to the field, play in and play out.
This is a little off topic for training.
I'm all good.
I was rewatching Matt Ryan's speech that he gave in front of the team about what it means to be
Yes.
Notice you were sitting in the front row.
Yes.
Notes, of course.
Oh, yeah.
Just kind of curious as to what you remember from that. I don't know if you had any interaction with that personally.
Yeah.
But just what you remember.
Yeah, I love what he had to say. He talked about, how you kind of, this city, and I thought it was a good point, this city looks like our locker room. It's a diverse group. And this city will ride with us, but we need to earn the right for them to ride with us, and we've got to go out and play in such a way that, they're going to really, get behind us. And I was talking with a retired quarterback in April, who's a Hall of Famer, and he was saying, Kirk, when I was in free agency and I was thinking about where to go, I thought, what would be a city that if you won, it would really be special and really come alive? And he looked at me, it was right after I signed with Atlanta, and he looked at me and he said, I think Atlanta's that city for you. And I think Matt echoed that when he spoke to our team, that when you have the year that you're trying to have, it can be really special, in December, January, February. And so that's what we're working towards, but nobody's going to give it to us. And I think that's the part that as a young player maybe you don't realize is that it's not just going to happen. You have to blood, sweat, tears a little bit to get there.
During OTAs, Ross said that team chemistry isn't really built until camp. How have you seen that progress, and what are you liking with the guys?
Yeah, I think the dorms are one way to kind of help build that, in the amenities room, they call it, where we go hang out. I think the locker room, just not being in a hurry to get anywhere when work ends, but just kind of being around and spending time in the cafeteria. So a good competition on the practice field, and time in the meeting rooms. We had a tremendous rookie presentation the other day. There's no more hazing. Even better than hazing, though, is these rookie PowerPoints. So if we ever have like a topic that we don't know anything about, we'll just say, hey, rookie, I need to do a presentation on this topic so I can learn about it, like it's high school. So we had a rookie do a presentation on a couple conspiracy theories, and it was just phenomenal. And so, you're not doing that in week 4, but in training camp, we're here, 11 plus hours. It's like, hey, go up there and talk about if the earth is flat or not, So it's pretty hilarious.
Or is that,
JFK.
Yeah, so what I told him is I said, try to pick one that has a little more legs to it. I don't want the one that the second you go up there, I'm like, that's not real. Like, give me one. So there's a couple more coming. We made like a power rankings list of the all-time conspiracy theories, and there's a few guys on the team who want every single one to be true, which is a little concerning. I'm like, why would you want the world to be that way? But there's a couple that make you think, and you walk out of those PowerPoints, and you're like, boy. No, it's just, it started in the linebacker room, and it's kind of permeated the whole locker room now, and it's very entertaining. Honestly, in training camp, I just need a lift sometimes. Just need a lift, and those PowerPoints will do it. So.
The most persuasive speaker so far.
J.D. Bertrand did a phenomenal job. Phenomenal. I don't even know if I want to go there publicly on the topic, but it's a phenomenal PowerPoint, and I got to give a rookie credit where credit is due, and there's more to come.
Flat Earth.
I can't go there. I can't go. It's too edgy. Too sensitive.
Don't persuade you. Like
It's okay. It just need to make me laugh. You need to make me laugh, okay? It's training camp. So, but I need to be informed too. I don't just want to laugh, I want to learn. So, all right?
Kyle, obviously, like everybody else, wants to get better and has a lot of expectations
Oh, yeah.
himself, but what have you noticed in how he approaches
Yeah.
every day?
He's working hard. I love the way he's showing up right now in our pass game. You know, he's a friendly target with his size, and he's got great movement skills. And you know, we're going to ask him to do a variety of things. You know, running routes. He's run a lot of different routes, but I think we're going to distribute the ball all around, and I think he's going to keep showing up for us. And it's funny because sometimes he's number 3 in the progression, and he shows up. You know, because I'm progressing. Other times he's number 1. So, but he's another guy where every day we just got to keep learning from each rep, coach each rep, and say, hey, I got to be better for you there. Hey, I should have thrown that ball back shoulder. Hey, I should give you more time there. Or, hey, I shouldn't have gotten off of you. I should have stayed with you. So, just trying to have those conversations and those reps to where you can, you know, be so efficient on every play. Thanks, guys.
So we will keep you updated about that joint practices with Miami, all on Atlanta News First. Make sure to tune in for the sportscast because we will have it all covered. Switching gears, the Corky Kell Dave Hunter Classic Luncheon was today. You'll have to get ready because we will be streaming about 11 games in 4 days from 5 different stadiums. Sports anchor Emily Gagnon was at the luncheon for all the action.
We've talked about the Falcons, Georgia, Georgia State, and Georgia Tech, but now it's time to turn our attention to high school football. The Corky Kell Dave Hunter Classic features some of the best athletes in the state. Prince Avenue Christian defensive lineman Christian Garrett is one of them. He's a UGA commit. His team, the Wolverines, are trying to go back to back to back.
We won state last year, but obviously that's a goal again, but it's really, our schedule's going to be harder, so I mean, I feel like my team's ready for it. We're going to step up to the challenge like we always do, so.
While the Wolverines are aiming for a three-peat, Milton's reaching for a repeat. The Eagles have 2 of the best players in Georgia, according to Score Atlanta. On its Mr. Football watch list, you'll find Milton quarterback Luke Nickel and wide receiver C.J. Wiley. They better enjoy being teammates one last go-around because Nickel is committed to Miami, Wiley is going to FSU.
Yeah, we got a team motto right now, B2A. Really just means, you know, back to Atlanta. That's the main goal. Just go win another state championship.
I really let the kids come up with it. It's their thing, their slogan. It's up to them to take ownership in it. I could come up with a bunch of good stuff, but, you know, I don't know if they would think it's as good as I do.
B2A might be Milton's motto, but every other team in the state wants to make it to Atlanta in December. For the teams playing in the Corky Kell Dave Hunter Classic, they get to start the season where they want to end it. Reporting from the Corky Kell Dave Hunter Classic Luncheon, Emily Gagnon, Atlanta News First.
So as Emily mentioned, a lot of storylines going to the season. Corky Kell kicks off the high school football season before things get underway the following week. But let's hear from a few of the other athletes that were at the luncheon talking about their goals for the upcoming season.
I'm Christian Garrett. I go to Prince Avenue Christian School. I play defensive line. I'm going to UGA.
All right, Christian, so you're probably excited to go to UGA, but you have one final season to make dreams come true in high school, I should say. So what is the goal for this season other than winning state?
Other than winning state is really just being the best I can. I really just improving from last year. Yeah.
What about your teammates? Who has impressed you the most this preseason? Who do you expect to be really, really good this upcoming year?
I got a lot of teammates who made improvements from last year, but one that sticks out is probably Mac Bradley. He plays the linebacker position. He's going to Air Force next year, so he really made a lot of gains this summer, and really just focusing on getting faster, reading well, and he's a hard worker. So shout out to him.
All right, I'm going to take you back to last season, even though I know it's a different year and coaches don't like to compare. But where did you guys finish last year, and do you have a chip on your shoulder entering this season?
We won state last year, but obviously that's a goal again. But it's really, our schedule's going to be harder. So I mean, I feel like my team's ready for it. We're going to step up to the challenge like we always do. So not ready to it.
Do you guys have a motto or a logo this year?
Go Wolverines.
Thank you. I appreciate it. What excites you the most? I'm sure you guys are like itching to go up against other people other than like your teammates.
Yeah, I'm just really excited. You know, I feel like the defense, you know, we're gonna have a strong start, especially from last season. You know, we lost a lot of guys, but we have a couple young guys step up, and I'm excited to see what they do. And especially with our new OC coming in, I'm excited to see what the offense is going to do, and you know how many times they're going to score a game and their productivity.
Banking off what he said, we lost a lot of people, so I'm excited to show that we're getting underestimated because of how many people we lost. So we're excited to show that we're not, like, we're going to come back the same and make the same push for the state title. And banking off what she said, going against each other all practice, we're excited to finally get to that first game and see, how we stack up against a really good team in Brookwood.
And kicking the season off in the Corky Kell Classic, what does that mean to you guys? Does it have any significance at all to you?
Yeah, honestly, it's a great honor, being able to play in the Falcons Stadium and, kind of getting an escape from our own stadium. It's really cool.
Yeah, it's amazing to, be that privileged to go in somewhere like that and play in some state-of-the-art, field like that and that kind of environment.
Does it allow you to dream a little bit? Because I don't want to assume that both of you guys want to play in the NFL, but that's usually the goal. Does it allow you to play on a pro field and think, okay, maybe one day I can do this and give you maybe a little more motivation?
Honestly, yeah, because, I remember when I was in middle school watching the high schoolers on that field and thinking like, oh, wow, this is going to be really cool. I'm going to be here one day. So, honestly, yeah, when I'm on that field, I feel like I'm in that mode and all that stuff.
No, 100%. It kind of, gives you that feel that you're kind of up there with the big guys. And even colleges, some stadiums are like that. So, I mean, it's something to always look forward to.
And tell me, who has stood out to you guys in the preseason as far as your teammates are concerned? It could be like star players or maybe guys we don't know about.
I say Alex Ward and Lucas Farrington. Lucas just came from Woodward. He's a running back. And Alex just came from Carrollton. He plays corner. So I think those are two guys to definitely look out for this season.
I would definitely say Lucas Farrington and also Jude Cascone. Lucas, like you said, came from Woodward. Just his pace of play and the way he cuts with the ball in his hands, he can, break open a play at any point in time. Jude, he's coming off a strong sophomore year, kind of playing that second tight end, being mainly a blocker. Now we kind of get to get him the ball more and get him in the open field and show what he can do with his athleticism and his speed, which might be kind of underrated as his tight end spot.
Let me ask you guys my last question. The goal for this season, I know you're going to say it's a state title, but for you guys, do you guys set goals before the season starts, and what is it?
Coach Bruner has 3, win the opener, win the region, and win the finisher. So, that's what we're going for.
That's for sure it. You'll hear it 100 times, and he'll say, why not 15-0? Why not us?
Tell me your names in the camera, even though you guys have, stickers here and your positions and who you guys play for.
I'm Ethan Standard. I play safety, and I go to Walton.
I'm Caden Gilstrap. I play quarterback, and I go to Walton.
Perfect. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate it. Good luck this season.
Sean John, Hebron Christian, and I play defensive tackle.
All right. Looks like you are committed to
Virginia.
All right. So I know you're a senior right now.
Yeah.
Correct. Okay. So I know you probably are very excited to go off to college, but you have 1 year left. What are the goals for your senior season?
Just to do whatever I can to help this team get a state championship. I mean, really, that's the goal. I just want to bring one to our team.
And who has stood out to you in the preseason that you look forward to watching this upcoming season? Could be a younger player or maybe somebody we know about, but just somebody who's really stood out in the preseason.
So actually, one of my teammates, this is his first year starting. His name is Jack. I mean, I've watched him grow. He's a really good kid, and I think he's going to do a lot this year. He's a really great kid.
And last season, what was the record last season, and do you feel like you have a chip on your shoulder?
Oh, yeah, definitely. So we went 6-5 last year. We lost by 3 to Cedar Grove. They went to win the state championship. So obviously, as we went in the offseason, it's just been a lot of work because we know that we have that step and we can make that step to the state championship. And we fell so short last year. And this year, I mean, we have all the pieces and we just need to go out and play.
And Cedar Grove is usually mentioned in the top teams in the state. Right. Is that a measuring stick for you guys?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, we played them last year in 2022, 2 years ago, and we lost by 30. And then we play them in 2023, we lose by 3. So we're really just looking to make that step.
Thank you so much.
Of course.
CJ Wiley, Cat 225, receiver in Milton High School.
All right, CJ, big expectations coming into the year. How are you guys handling them?
Pretty good. We had a good summer as a team. We've been hitting the field, weight room, and team condition pretty well.
So you said that you had a good summer. Who is standing out to you on your team? It could be like a star that we all know about or maybe a younger guy that we don't know of.
I would say most of the starters coming back. We got a couple of young guys stepping up. And yeah.
Any names that we can get?
I would say Ty, Luke. I would say them two for right now.
The goal this season, what is it?
Go back to back.
Back to back, and what does that take?
It takes a lot of hard work. A lot of people say it's hard to go win 2 times in a row. So yeah, we're gonna show them.
Cool. Congratulations.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Your motto, I was just told, is what, B2A?
B2A.
Yeah, back to Atlanta.
That's right.
How'd you come up with that?
Just, I really let the kids come up with it. It's their thing, their slogan. It's up to them to take ownership in it. I could come up with a bunch of good stuff, but, I don't know if they would think it's as good as I do. So whatever they want to just be about and rally around, I'm good with.
Your quarterback, Luke, just told me he feels no pressure to go back-to-back, and I'm impressed by that because he says he's ready. And when you're ready, you usually don't feel pressure. What have you seen from him, the leadership you've seen from him going into the season?
Yeah, he's started for us since he was a sophomore. This senior class as a whole has played in 44 out of 45 possible games going back to their freshman year. So it's just what they're used to. They're battle tested. But I think more importantly is we preach reaching our team's ceiling. And if our team's ceiling this year is a state championship, then great. If it's not and we hit that ceiling, we'll walk off the field with our heads held high. So I think that eliminates the pressure of state or bust, right? Because right now, game one, every team is breaking it down on state. The truth is every team can't win a state championship, but every team can get to their ceiling, whatever that is. So we're just going to push for that and see where it takes us.
And he told me he's most impressed. I said, during the preseason, tell me some guys who've impressed you the most. And he said the entire defense. Going up against them is what's been most challenging for him. Do you feel like your defense might be the strength of the team? Or you're probably not going to tell me that, but do you like what you're seeing from them?
I love what I'm seeing from them. I don't want to give them too much love because you want your defense playing a little angry. And, we're returning all but 2 starters on defense, a defense that averaged around 12 points per game last year, a defense where a lot of those starters didn't even play in the second half where some of those points were scored. And as we're getting into preseason polls and teams and all-star selections, we don't have anybody on our defense on any of those. And so there's a vibe right now in the defensive room that I like. And so, yes, I love those guys, but I don't want to love them up too much because I want to keep that vibe going.
Any love you do want to give to a couple of players on your team or anybody that we should look out for that maybe people don't know about?
There's so many. We're returning 18 out of 22 starters. There's a lot of guys that are coming back that, haven't necessarily committed to big-time colleges yet. Tristan Payne, A.J. Benton, Hayden Taminia, Terrence Spencer, guys that have just been solid for us in our program for so long, that maybe not get all the publicity as some of our other guys, but they definitely deserve it. And I know that they're going to blow up this year. So, I've left so many guys off that list. I love our team, our kids so much, but those 4 really come to mind.
My name is Luke Nickel, quarterback at Milton High School.
That's pretty easy, right?
This way? Okay.
All right, Luke, your teammate just told me the goal is to go back-to-back. You probably aren't thinking about that because you still have to play the first game of the season and beyond. But what are your thoughts about being able to do that?
Yeah, it's just definitely surreal, just knowing that we have that opportunity. But that opportunity doesn't come without, a lot of hard work in the off season. The guys have, really pushed beyond their limits this off season, and just being able to go back out there in a few weeks, really a few days, is gonna be super special.
What guys have stood out to you this, I don't want to say camp, but this preseason?
Honestly, I'm just gonna say the whole defense. Just going against them every day. I realize how sometimes hard being a quarterback is, and just knowing that we have them on Fridays is definitely a good thing.
Have you ever talked to somebody, and this might be a no, who's gone back-to-back? Do you realize how hard it is to do that?
Yeah, we've definitely talked about it too, just knowing how hard it is. It's something that hasn't been done at Milton before, so it's something that we want to strive for. Just kind of talking about it, we're actually pretty comfortable of talking about the state. Just knowing what we're working for and what we're working towards it's kind of special to kind of just think about.
And as the quarterback of the team, so you're basically the leader, do you feel any pressure, or do you just not even think about it?
No pressure. We're ready to go. We're really confident in ourselves, so just trusting in the guys around us.
Any mottos this year or anything you guys are saying ahead of the season that you think will carry through the year?
Yeah, we got a team motto right now, B2A. Really just means, back to Atlanta. That's the main goal. Just go win another state championship, and that's where we need to take.
Also, pay attention this week. The Brewers are in town to take on the Braves, so we'll have a lot of coverage of that, as well as those joint practices with the Miami Dolphins down in Miami. But that will do it for this edition of Sports Tonight. Thanks for joining us. Make sure to join us throughout the week. We'll have all the coverage. Have a good night.